All right, Shalom, y'all. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shemi Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there, spreading this truth like wildfire. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who look like the other nations, but their spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Shemi Shai. And shalom to the real sisters out there. All right, today I want to go into this. I want to go into Hey, today I titled it the live Nashville explosion. Tis the season for false flags. Parentheses again. Because I want to go into this Nashville explosion, and I want to go into what that means. What that means. What that means. What Esau got planned. Like, cause Esau. Hey, it looks like look, hey, Esau's letting us know that it's false flag season all over again. Like, false flag season is back in Babylon. You know, hey, Esau's announcing false flag season is back in Babylon with this Nashville explosion, and it was obvious. It was obvious that it was a false flag. Well, when the mayor was basically laughing at y'all, laughing at how many people would fall for this bullshit. And this is the type of shit that these devils do. So you gotta be aware of it. And that's actually a precept. It's two precepts actually. One in Second Corinthians. Y'all should all be familiar with it. If not, you will be. But it's Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. One of Satan's devices, one of his greatest devices, his most used devices, is the use of the false flag. An event that he creates, that he does to blame someone for some shit, but he actually did it. And then hey, let me get that other precept. Let me get that other precept, because hold on. That other precept goes into not being ignorant of anything. Don't be ignorant of anything small or little, I believe. Now I'm just gonna bring out a quick definition. I guess go into false flags a little bit. Don't be ignorant of any matter. That's Ecclesiasticus 5 verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Like, this may seem like a small matter, but it's actually a pretty big deal. It's actually a pretty big deal. Because what Esau could do with this is he could say that he found out that it was a Hebrew Israelite, it was a brother that blew that RV up. It was either that, or it was or Esau can push that civil war narrative, or that civil war narrative that Trump supporters are basically wilding out and shit and blowing up shit because they mad that Trump lost. Either way, you could go with that old Islam shit too. That it was a Muslim extremist, reinforce that narrative. Either way, there's several ways that Esau can take this. And I know, I know I don't, I'm not going into the origins of this folly day, but enough brothers have gone into it. Enough brothers have gone into it, and how it's pagan. It comes from Yule. It comes from Saturnalia. It actually goes back to the birthday of Nimrod, which is why the Babylonians celebrated it. But that should be that actually should be obvious. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should do a little just a little overview of that too, since it is since it we just well since well technically speaking it's not no more, but well technically speaking it is, because it's actually 12 days. But yeah, because it is that, since it is that folly day, we just really it is that time of the year, right? So I should probably go over it real quick. I'm gonna go over this because because this is a event that Esau could use for his for this is an event that Esau could use to push his agenda more, and so it helps for the Akim to know that this was. It helps for the Akim and Aqua to know, that this was a false flag. Was it didn't have nothing to do with us. If just in case Esau tries to use this, just in case Esau tries to use this event against us. And also, even if Esau don't blame it on us, it it shows Esau's wickedness. It's just more evidence that this man is the damn devil that the Bible speaks of. Let me go into that article of that as well as a false flag. The article of about a false flag. Oh shit, we already have an article on what the Nashville bombing could have been. Let me get that definition of false flag also. All right, let me get that definition first. Yeah, a false flag is off of Wikipedia. A false flag operation is an act committed with the intent of disguising the actual source of responsibility and pinning blame on a second party. The term is popular. Well, of course, Esau got to come with that damage control. So the second sentence says the term is popular amongst conspiracy theory, quote unquote, promoters, and quote on the theory, and referring to, well, the two quotes around, around the theory, because of course Esau is going to claim that it's a theory, and referring to covert operations of various governments and cabals. The U.S. Uh, yeah, and of course, damage control. They got to include that damage control. But just below that, they showed U.S. Douglas A-26C Invader located at Miami Executive Airport was painted in fake Cuban Air Force colors for the military invasion of Cuba undertaken by the CIA-sponsored paramilitary group Brigade 2506 in April 1961. And hey, just after they called it a conspiracy theory, just after they called it that, or they basically did. They basically was telling you that it was a conspiracy theory, or conspiracy theorists like to claim that various events are false flags, basically the covert operations of various governments and cabals, you know, that are false flags, that, and then they blame it on someone else. Just after basically they was calling it a conspiracy theory, after that they showed an example of a false flag. An invader plane, a plane, a U.S. warplane that was actually painted in fake Cuban Air Force colors. Why? Because they were gonna do attacks, and they were gonna blame Cuba on those attacks. But it was Babylon the whole time, and that was to justify the Bay of Pigs invasion. If you remember that Esau planned that shit. The term, yeah, April 8, 1961, yeah. They were planning the Bay of Pigs invasion, and they're planning a false flag event. They are planning to bomb several targets in Babylon, and I'm not sure which ones. Airports, I believe, was gonna be bombed or some shit. They're planning to do that and blame it on the Cubans. So that's a false flag right there. So that's a real life example, but before they was calling it a conspiracy theory. Fucking Esau, of course, gotta come with that damage control, so you don't take the article serious. But you don't take this topic serious. But yeah, The term "quote unquote" false flag originated in the 16th century as a purely figurative expression to mean a deliberate misinterpretation of someone's affiliations or motives. It was later used to describe a ruse in naval warfare, whereby a vessel flew the flag of a neutral or enemy country in order to hide its true identity. The tactic was originally used by pirates and privateers to deceive other ships into allowing them to move closer before attacking them. It later was deemed an acceptable practice during naval warfare according to international maritime laws, providing the attacking vessel displayed their true flag once an attack happened. So false flag, right? That's not the real flag. That's not the real flag. That's what it means. That's not their actual flag. The term today extends to include countries that organize attacks on themselves and make the attacks appear to be by enemy nations or terrorists, thus giving the nation that was supposedly attacked a pretext for domestic repression and foreign military aggression. Operations carried out during peacetime by civilian organizations as well as covert government agencies can, by extension, also be called false flag operations if they seek to hide the real organization behind an operation. Okay, yeah, yeah. So that's what it is, and there's many examples of that shit. There is many example of that shit. Hey, such as 9/11. That's an example of a false flag. In land warfare, yeah, the official story don't even add up. Just got to do a little research. But in land, and that's usually what it takes. Do a little research into these false flags, and you find out that it's a false flag. And in land warfare, and sometimes you find out what really happened. You find out what really happened. You find out who did it, who actually did it. It's been done many times. But Esau continues to use that tactic. But in land warfare, such operations are. I'm continuing with the article. In land warfare, such operations are generally deemed acceptable under certain circumstances, such as to deceive enemies, providing that the deception is not perfidious, and all deceptions are discarded before opening fire upon the enemy. Similarly, in naval warfare, such a deception is considered permissible, provided the false flag is lowered and a true flag raised before engaging in battle. Auxiliary cruisers operated in such a fashion in both world wars, as did Q ships, while merchant vessels were encouraged to use false flags for protection. Such masquerades promoted confusion not just of the enemy but of historical accounts. In 1914, the Battle of Trinidad was fought between the British auxiliary cruiser RMS Carmania and the German auxiliary cruiser SMX Cap Trafalgar, which had been altered to look like Carmania. Okay. Contrary to some accounts, the RNS Carmania had not been altered to resemble the Captain Trafalgar. Another notable example was the World War II German commerce raider Cormoran, which surprised and sank the Australian light cruiser HMAS Sydney in 1941 while disguised as the Dutch merchant ship, causing the greatest recorded loss of life on an Australian warship. So you see, the common theme here is that they appear as themselves. They the German commerce raider Kolmoren was disguised as as a Dutch merchant ship. So the HAMAS the HAMAS Sydney didn't see it coming. While Cameron was fatally damaged in the engagement and his crew captured, the outcome represented a considerable psychological victory for the Germans. The British used a Kriegsmarine ensign in the St. Nazaire raid and captured a German code book. The old destroyer Campbell Town, which the British planned to sacrifice in the operation, was provided with cosmetic modifications that involved cutting the ship's funnels and chamfering the edges to resemble a German-type 23 torpedo boat. While this ruse, the British were able to get within 2 miles of the harbor before the defenses responded, or the explosive-rigged Campbell Town and Commando successfully disabled or destroyed the key dog structures of this port. So basically, Esau basically has these different examples, but I got a better one though as pretext for war. This is actually fits the more modern fits today's definition of false flag. Basically, the Russo-Swedish War in 1788, the head tailor at the Royal Swedish Opera received an order to sew a number of Russian military uniforms. These were then used by the Swedes to stage an attack on Pumala, a Swedish outpost on the Russo-Swedish border, on June 27, 1788. This caused an outrage in Stockholm and impressed the Riksdag of the Estates, the Swedish National Assembly, who until then had refused to agree to offensive war against Russia. So that's actually a good example right there. The Pumala incident allowed King Gustav III of Sweden, who lacked the constitutional authority to initiate unprovoked hostilities without the state's consent, to launch the Russo-Swedish War. So it was used to start that war. And the Sino-Japanese War. In December 1931, Japanese officers fabricated a pretext for invading Manchuria by blowing up a section of railway. Though the explosion was too weak to disrupt operations on the rail line, the Japanese nevertheless used this incident to seize Manchuria and create a public government for what they termed the independent state of Manchukuo. It was like different governments in history that used this tactic, Yeah. And okay, this is a plot that was actually hatched by Babylon. These are other countries now. This plot was actually hatched by the Babylonians. I'm talking about Babylon the Great, aka the U.S. Cuban Revolution, Operation Northwoods, is actually a very good example, of a false flag plot, but there are actual real false flags that Esau has done, many of them. The Gulf of Tonkin is actually an admitted false flag. This one right here, Operation Northwoods, the proposed but never executed 1962 Operation Northwoods plot by the U.S. Department of Defense for a war with Cuba involved scenarios such as fabricating or hijacking or shooting down a passenger or military plane sinking a U.S. ship in the vicinity of Cuba, so like the USS Maine, right? Burning burning crops, sinking a boat filled with Cuban refugees. Attacks by alleged Cuban infiltrators inside the United States, and harassment of U.S. aircraft and shipping, and the destruction of aerial drones by aircraft disguised as Cuban MiGs. These actions would be blamed on Cuba and would be the pretext for an invasion of Cuba. Uh, and the overthrow of Fidel Castro's communist government. It was authored by the Joint Chiefs of Staff, but then rejected by President John F. Kennedy because JFK wasn't with that shit. The surprise discovery, which is why they took him out. The surprise discovery of the documents relating to Operation Northwoods was the result of the comprehensive search for records related to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy by the Assassination Records Review Board in the mid 1990s. So they when they were looking into the assassination of JFK, they found this shit. Information about Operation Northwoods was later published by James Bamford. Yes, Esau was planting that false flag. That's like those are cases that was used to start wars with other countries. Yeah, and the one they use is the Reichstag fire, which that was by the Nazis. The arson attack by on the Reichstag building in Berlin on 27 February 1993. Yeah, the fire started in the session chamber, and by the time the police and firemen arrived, the main room was engulfed in flames. Police searched the building and found Marinus van der Lubbe, a young Dutch council communist and unemployed bricklayer who had recently arrived in Germany to carry out political activities. The fire was used as evidence by the Nazis that the communists was beginning a plot against the German government. Van der Lubbe and four communist leaders were subsequently arrested. Adolf Hitler, who was sworn in as Chancellor of Germany 4 weeks before on January 30th urged President Paul von Hindenburg to pass an emergency decree to counter the ruthless confrontation of the Communist Party of Germany with civil liberties suspended. The government instituted mass arrests of communists, including all of the communist parliamentary delegates. With their bitter rival communists gone and their seats empty, the National Socialist German Workers' Party went from being a plurality party to to the majority. Subsequent elections confirmed that position and thus allowed Hitler to consolidate his power. So now it was a that okay. Historians disagree as to whether van der Lubbe, as he said, acted alone to protest the condition of the German working class, or whether the arson was planned and ordered by the Nazis, which probably was. You know, they all Edomites, themselves dominant in the government as a false flag operation. Also, hey, this is examples by Esau, by examples of Babylon, what Babylon did, different Babylonian false flags, and they did one Iran, yeah. It's just different examples. Well, this one by Babylon, and then there's one by the so-called Jews, the Levant affair. You know, on April 4th, 1953, the CIA was ordered to undermine the government. Oh, and that last one should sound familiar because that's what Esau does after he does that false flag. Well, this is more like they was trying to start a revolt against that government, against Mossadegh, right? Prime Minister Mohammed Mossadegh. They was actually trying to get the people pissed off at them, at this prime minister, and they basically, yeah, they did that shit. Yeah, they blew up mosques and shit, and other. Oh, and they attacked key public figures, and blamed it on Iranian communists loyal to the government, so they could basically, because they was trying to start a revolution against the government over there in Iran. And then this one right here, you know, they was trying to, a group of Egyptian Jews, so-called Jews, were recruited by the summer of 1954. A group of Egyptian Jews recruited by Israeli army intelligence were caught with plans to bomb American, British, and Egyptian civil targets in Egypt. The bombings were to be blamed on the Muslim Brotherhood, Egyptian communists, unspecified malcontents, or local nationalists, with the aim of creating a climate of sufficient violence and instability to induce the British government refrain from evacuating its troops occupying Egypt's Suez Canal zone, a move that would embolden Egyptian President Nasser against Israel. But the plot was exposed before launch, and Egyptian authorities were able to tailor an operative to his target, arrest him, and later search his apartment, where the entire plan, including the names of other agents and explosive materials, were held. The expose caused a scandal in Israel, with Israeli officials blaming one another for the operation, and the Israeli Defense Minister Pinhas Lavon resigning under pressure. Yeah, because they was caught. This was actually a failed false flag. It was an attempt. It was actually caught trying to do that shit. shit, there's a lot of examples of Esau's false flag. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, shit. Fuck. Yeah, and then, okay, now let me. So you see, this is one of Esau's favorite tactics, and I'm gonna go into uh article about the Nashville bombing that I found, and they said that the Nashville bombing could be a domestic terrorist attack aimed at police. The commentator claims. So here you see the narrative is already taking shape. An explosion that rocked downtown Nashville on Christmas morning may have been an act of domestic terrorism aimed at police, a political commentator says. As ABC7 News reported, a large explosion damaged buildings and wounded 3 people in the city early on Christmas morning, an act that authorities said was intentional. Video from the moments before the blast showed a loud audio recording warning residents to evacuate the area, followed by a blast that shook buildings and shattered windows. The Nashville Police Department said that officers were called to the area for gunshots being fired just before 6 a.m. They reportedly found no evidence of a shooting. Hold on. Fuck. But did find a suspicious vehicle and called for a hazardous unit, the outlet noted. Oh, the fuck. The RV then exploded a short time later. Authorities continue to search for any signs of other explosives in closed parts of downtown to traffic. So what the fuck? Yeah, that shit already sounded weird because there was a yeah, that shit's already sounded weird. A loud audio There was a loud audio recording warning residents to evacuate the area, followed by a blast that shook buildings and shattered windows. Okay. And then the Nashville Police Department said that officers were called to the area for gunshots being fired just before 6 a.m. And they reportedly found no evidence of a shooting, but did find a suspicious vehicle and called for a hazardous unit, the outlet noted. RV then exploded a short time later. Okay, what the fuck? Okay. There wasn't no shooting. It wasn't no shooting. There was a yeah. That's why this. Okay, so that's why they're saying that it was a domestic attack against cops and shit. But now you see what Esau's trying to do, and it could be blamed on Jake because Jake was yeah, it could be blamed on Jake. Could be blamed on BLM types because BLM they protest against police brutality. It could be that Esau was planning to demonize to demonize B, Jake through BLM. I wouldn't be surprised. And then also we condemn Babylon as a whole, including the centurions. So it could be traced, you know how Esau could take it, all the way back to the Hebrew Israelites. They could say that they had influence from the Hebrew Israelites, somehow tying it to us. And I wouldn't be surprised. And that does fit their crafty counsel because they do call us domestic terrorists in Project Megiddo. And they call us black identity extremists as well. And so that's another reason to be, even though clearly we're not black, clearly none of us are. But of course, they're going to say that because, of course, Judah, the king tribe, that's the target right there. And yeah, it's Judah, and then followed by the other tribes and the speckled birds. And you know, hey, Psalm chapter 83 talks about a crafty counsel against our people. You know, that's a conspiracy right there. Not a theory, but it is a conspiracy. Psalm 83, verse 1, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O Yahweh. Verse 2, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent, they confederate against thee. Verse 6, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Verse 8, Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Salah. So all these heathen nations, the tabernacle of Edom, that's the so-called white man. The Ishmaelites, that's the Arabs of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the so-called Chinese, and Hagarenes, the Hamites, indigenous Africans, not the so-called black people, but the people, but the indigenous Africans, the people who sold the so-called black people to the so-called white man and to these other nations with the help of the Ishmaelites. Because the so-called black people, they the original Jews in the southern kingdom. Verse 7, Gebal, that's more Hamites, so-called Africans, and Ammon, the so-called Japanese, and Amalek, that's the Jewish. They wish to be us. The Ish that wish to be us. That's them. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, that's just more Hamites. Verse 8, Assyria, Iraq now, is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, the East Asians. Salah. So all these nations involved in the conspiracy against who? Against the Israelites, the hidden ones. And the same conspiracy, headed up by none other than Esau, the so-called white man. Yo, hold on. All right, shalom, shalom. Back again. Had to take care of some. Are you a pro-black Hebrew Israelite? Um, I am. I am. Well, no one's black. No one's black. There's no such thing as a black Hebrew Israelite because no one is actually black. I am a Hebrew Israelite by nationality. By nationality, you don't have to be so-called black. We say so-called black because no one's actually black. The people that are called black, they're not actually black. By skin, when we all talking about skin color, but the skin color is black. It is brown, not black. So first of all, so that's wrong. That's a byword actually, because black means devoid of light. You know, black. When you think of the word black or the color black, you think of like negative shit, like black masses, for example, and you know, black art, you know, shit like that. So that's like, so black is a byword. You know, it's a proverb and a byword used against the original Israelites of the tribe of Judah. They're actually dark brown if you're talking about skin color. And there's no such thing as whites either. There's no such thing as whites. White is the color of a tissue paper. This is white. This is white. This is white. No one's skin color matches this. You know, the people who refer to themselves as white, you know, they're not white. They're actually pink. And pink is a derivative of red. And Edom means red. So the Edomites today are calling themselves white. That's true. That's factual. And let me actually go into the scriptures proving proving who these people are that call themselves white. You know, we're not saying that everyone that calls themselves white is an Edomite, because our Hebrew Israelites were scattered around the world. Hebrew Israelites are scattered around the world. We degrade Edomites. We degrade Edomites. Hey, the Lord, the Most High of the Bible, hates the race of Edomites. He hates Edomites, and we're his mouthpieces. So we do degrade Edomites. Caucasian, you know, that's another name for an Edomite, because Caucasian goes back to cave dweller. That's true. Goes back to the Egyptian for that. And the Caucasus Mountains, where they live in the caves. And let me get how it links up to Esau. Obadiah 1 verse 3, the pride of thine heart has deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. And the eagle is a symbol of what? America, and also a symbol of Rome, also of Nazi Germany. It's a symbol of a lot of so-called white, self-proclaimed white countries, right? Or white-run countries. Are all light-skinned people, you mean pale-skinned people are all of them Edomites? Well, look at me. Look at me. I'm like, well, I look like a light-skinned so-called Latino, which those are the Northern Kingdom. We have brothers in this truth. You have brothers in GMS, and you have brothers in Men of Valor, which I'm a part of Men of Valor, and you have brothers in the truth that look like so-called white people, but their spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, meaning that they're the children of the Most High. Meaning they're Israelites. Because we're not over here, like, we don't look upon the outward appearance like that. Like, skin color is an indicator of your race, but it does not determine your race. Many examples. Blake Griffin looks like a so-called white man, and his son looks like a so-called white boy. But Blake Griffin's dad is Haitian, a so-called. Well, he's which Haitians, they're primarily the tribe of Levi. His mom is a so-called white woman, and that's something else. That's something else I could bring out about what actually determines your lineage as your father's paternal lineage. You are who your father is. That's Numbers chapter 2. Yep. Actually starts Numbers chapter 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of their names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So it was all these verse 19, as Yahweh commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. Everyone by the house of their fathers. Okay, those are some camps do that shit. Some camps don't believe that Israel is a speckled bird. Some camps believe that your outward appearance matters. And those camps are going off. Because speckled bird, the Bible tells you that speckled bird is the Bible describes Yasharallah or Israel as speckled birds. Speckled bird. Let me get that precept about the speckled birds. You have different camps. Not all Hebrew Israelites believed in the same doctrine. Not all of them do. Some of them don't believe that the name of the Lord matters. We're not all like, this is not one big camp. It's different camps of Hebrew Israelites. GMS and Men of Valor, we teach that the Israelites were scattered, and skin color out and outward appearance does not determine your race. It indicates it, but it don't determine it. And one of the scriptures we go to is Jeremiah 12 and 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds come. around are round about are against her. Come, ye assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. Yeah. So we go into we we test the spirit. We look at the spirit. We don't just go bit. We don't just go off appearance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, otherwise, we wouldn't have a. We'd be leaving out. We would be leaving out. Uh, we would be leaving out all these Israelites that were scattered, that were scattered to the four corners of the earth, and ended up looking like the other nations through intermixing. You know, they didn't stay so-called pure-blooded. Yeah, Khan. So you got it. You got it. All right. That's a major stumbling block with our people too. Yeah, but this Nashville, anyways, back on the subject, this Nashville bombing, you know, it's already looking like it's a false flag. You know, they got the narrative, and then there's a brother that actually did a video that actually posted showing the Nashville mayor basically not basically he was laughing. He was laughing about this bombing. You know, if there's a bombing in your city, you're not gonna laugh about it. You know, unless it's some other shit that we don't know about that you know about and you're hiding it from us. You know, like what's so funny about that, right? What's so funny about a bombing, right? And I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear the video, but I'm gonna get it. Okay. Well, for the people who haven't seen this, y'all could probably just hear it, but couldn't even hear him laugh. Y'all let me know if you can hear it. Yeah, see, he was giggling. Those of y'all that haven't seen or heard, this is for whoever watches this live without this. Whoever watches this live afterwards and hasn't seen the mayor, and he's over here laughing. The blast and he's laughing. This fucking devil, man. Yo. Yeah, so you see. You see, this devil was full of glee. This devil was full of glee about about the explosion. This devil couldn't hold it in, and he was cheesing. He was cheesing. Clearly, he's trying to. Clearly, he got some shit to hide. Clearly, it's some deception. It ain't what it seemed to be. And we're gonna find out. Hey, look, it looks like we're already finding out. Oh shit! Another possible event. Just as we was talking about this one, another RV. Now they're saying, because this was an RV explosion, and now they're saying that another RV was parked outside a federal building in Cincinnati. Okay, I got an article right here. Police roads open, no threat found, and authorities called to check RV in downtown Cincinnati. Police explosive detective teams called to check RV outside federal building in Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Police Department blocked off several streets downtown Friday after a suspicious RV with its engine running was reported to authorities. Police officers responded to the scene near the federal government on 6th Street early Friday evening to investigate after the RV was reported to them by security. Police said there was no indications that there was anything of a suspicious nature, but said that they were investigating out of abundance of caution based on the explosion that rocked downtown Memphis. I mean, so like in Nashville early Christmas morning. The Cincinnati Police Department used explosive detection canines to clear the scene downtown. After a few hours, 6th Street was closed west off Broadway to Main Streets. 7th Street was closed at Main Street. Main Street was closed from 5th to 7th Street, and Sycamore Street was closed south of 7th Street as police investigated on 6th Street. At around 7 p.m., Cincinnati police reported that all streets that were closed have since reopened. According to police, they have completed their investigation on 6th Street, quote unquote, without incident. A recreational vehicle parked in the deserted streets of downtown Nashville of down downtown Nashville exploded early Christmas morning, causing widespread communication outages that took down police emergency systems and grounded flights at the city's airport. Authorities say they believe the blast was intentional. Police were responding to a report of shots fired Friday when they encountered the RV, blaring a recorded warning that a bomb would detonate in 15 minutes. Metro Nashville Police Chief John Drake said. Police evacuated nearby buildings and called in the bomb squad. Shortly after that, the RV exploded, quote unquote, Drake said at a midday news conference. WLWT will update this story when more information is available. Shit. Fucking coughing and shit. Ain't a big deal though. Oh, ah, damn, painful. NYT Fauci acknowledges moving goalposts on herd immunity from COVID-19. Yeah, no shit. He was caught. Oh shit, tired. Still gotta bring it out though. Yup, they had some event. They had some well they this is what they'll do too. They'll have some possible it could have been a terrorist attack type deal. They'll have that shit, just to spread the fear, just to spread the fear even more after the initial false flag. Shit. Fuck. That affliction ain't nothing to play with. There's a whole article on how to persuade someone to take the COVID-19 vaccine. People ain't buying this bullshit no more because these devils, they've been thoroughly exposed. It's actually prophecy too. From Jeremiah when it talks about Esau. Jeremiah 49. I'm gonna start at verse 7 because that goes into that as well, because Esau is no longer able to convince us to follow his agenda. Or us, the people, even not just the elect. Of course, the elect can't be deceived, but the people is harder to convince them. And I'm gonna start at verse 7. Concerning Edom, said Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Like they ain't got it no more. They ain't got it no more. Verse 8, flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of the Don, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon them, the time that I will visit him. Verse 9, if grape gatherers come to thee, will they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night they will destroy till they have enough. Verse 10, but I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. The Most High Yahweh has made Esau bare. He's uncovered his secret places. What? His groves, like the Bohemian Grove, his secret councils, the Bilderberg, the Council on Foreign Relations, Council on National Policy, all these councils. Shit, even the Freemasons and the Jesuits, even them. All these councils, all the way up to the Council of 13. All these councils have been exposed, and all their plans have been exposed. And this lines up with Obadiah. This lines up with Obadiah chapter 1. Let me get it. Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? So how are the things of Esau searched out? These conspiracies of Esau Edom, like a false flag. That's how the things of Esau searched out. There's more people looking that up. Look, Nashville bombing false flag, for example. More people looking shit like that up, which is why they're having so-called fact-checking sites. But all they really are damage control sites. all they really are damage control sites. No, nothing more, nothing less. But that's not working. That's not working. And so that's also why Esau is small among the heathen. That's verse 2. All these other nations out here look down on Esau. Shit, even his own people look down on him. It's gotten that bad. Because it takes an Edomite. It takes the devil to know a devil, right? Devil simply just means false accuser. That's all it means. False accuser or deceiver. Because what does devious mean? Devious means someone who is deceptive, a devious man, a devious woman, same root word, devious and devil means deceiver, a false accuser. And he's been found to be a false accuser. And that's how he has been made small among the heathen. It's Obadiah 1 verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. All these other nations, they're tired of his shit because he's always, this is one of the reasons why he's doing does false flags and blames it on not just our people, but them too. Like 9/11. 9/11 was blamed on Ishmael, was blamed on 12, well, 11 box cut, 11 Arab box cutters. But that was bullshit. It was found to be a lie. It was found to be controlled opposition. Controlled demolition. It was found to be that. And then from 9/11, they started all these wars. Just all these wars. All in the name of fighting terrorism when they're the real terrorists. And this lines up with the verse in Nahum, because these are also the modern day Assyrians. See, there's the actual Assyrians, and then there's nations that act like the Assyrians. America acts like the Assyrians towards all these other countries and nations, and America is ruled by Edomites. So the Edomites today, they act like the Assyrians. Nahum was written about Nineveh, which was the capital city of Assyria. And I got Nahum 3 verse 19. There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee. For upon whom has not thy wickedness passed continually? Because who has not been oppressed by this man? Who has not been oppressed by him? So they're actually gonna be happy when this place falls. Only the kings of the earth and the merchants, and they're gonna be pissed, because this is Babylon the Great too. They're gonna be the only reason because this place is their cash cow. But basically this world and everyone else in it is gonna breathe a huge sigh of relief. That's in Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah 14 verse 3. And this shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest, speaking of the Israelites, from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Verse 5, Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Verse 7, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth in the singing. Verse 8, yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellers come up against us, because this devil is known for going all around the world and cutting down the trees, deforestation, mass deforestation. Verse 9, Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from the thrones all the kings of the nations, because all these other nations, they're not in a rulership position. No, it's Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man that rules the world. The self-proclaimed white man and the self-proclaimed Jew that rules the world. These other nations, they're under Esau as well, but we get the brunt of it. The Israelites get the brunt of this man's anger because Esau got a personal problem with us, going back to the birthright. Verse 10, and they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Because Esau has been in a high position, you know, what the world calls a white privilege. It's Edomite privilege. Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vial. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Talking about corrosion. That's what worms do. They break dead bodies down. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which is weak in the nations? Now, these so-called churches will teach you that Lucifer is a actual angel that wasn't in heaven, like the third heaven, that was with the Most High Yahweh. You know, he tried to do his own thing, so he got kicked out. You know, they'll tell you that, but that's not who he really is. You know, might as well go into that since I'm in chapter 14. Lucifer, the word itself means light bearer. Verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh, which that's the name of the Most High. That's his name. I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. Verse 14. Oh, okay. Let me break down what that is. You know, I will ascend into heaven, you know, because he actually thinks he's going to be like the Most High Yahweh. I will ascend into heaven, space, right? The space. You know, that's what Esau's space program is all about. That's what his space program is all about. He's trying to do that, ascend his throne above the stars of Yahweh. And but Most High Yahweh is not gonna let him. And also the stars, you know, means little stars, but also is speaking of Israel. It's speaking of Israel. I was also sit also upon the mount of the congregation of the Lord, right? That's Israel. In the sides of the north, where North America, right? Where is Babylon? North America. Babylon the Great, not ancient Babylon. Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, North America. Babylon the Great, North America. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. And that's where I was speaking of, you know, Esau's trying to basically expand out into the universe, and also A to infinity and beyond, right? Buzz Lightyear, and also that's Esau, and also he's trying to be like the Most High. He's trying to be like the Most High. Transhumanism. But he don't want to die. Esau was trying to he's trying to get that blessing of the kingdom. But that's not even enough for him. He wants to be like the Most High. He wants to live forever. He wants to be omnipotent, can do all things. He wants to be omnipresent, can be everywhere. He wants to be all knowing too. He really wants to know everything, be able to see everything, hear everything, do everything. Yeah. And live forever, immortality. Esau wants that shit too. He wants to be like the Most High. Verse 15, though, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Yeah. So what is going to happen instead is he's going to be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And hell simply means the grave. Hell means the grave. Literally, Sheol means the grave. But hell also, or Sheol is like lowest. Well, that word there is symbolically used to mean a lower state, to mean a lower state. So slavery, that's the lowest state. We're at a lower state right now. Our people are at a lower state under the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Not in rulership, at the bottom, Esau and the other nations above us, oppressing us, looking down on us. Yeah. Verse 16, but we're gonna trade places. It's gonna be like trading places, like the movie. Jake, yeah, is the Israelites, they're gonna be on top. The Israelites, they're gonna be on top, and the Edomites are gonna be on the bottom. They're gonna be the slaves. They're gonna be the slaves of slaves, actually. And the Rothschilds are gonna be the slaves of slaves of slaves, they're gonna be at the very bottom. The elites, the Rothschilds, the real rulers of this place, they're gonna be at the very bottom. Cough, man. It's just, yeah, it's just terrible.